Good morning and welcome to WellSprings. My name is Julie and I'm going to be helping lead the songs today along with the band. This is our special New Year's service where we perform and sing songs whose artists we've lost in the past year. So hopefully you'll recognize some of these and just think about all they've contributed to the music world. To start off, we're going to be singing Stop in the Name of Love by the Supremes in honor of Mary Wilson, who died. That was a fun one. Our second song in the song block is in memory of composer and lyricist Stephen Sondheim. Here's our rendition of Send in the Clowns. Isn't it rich? Are we ahead? Near at last on the ground, you in midair. Send in the clouds. Isn't it bliss? Don't you approve? One who keeps staring around, one who can't move. Where are the clouds? Send in the clouds. Just when I'd stopped, oh, but
Don't you love fuss? My fault, I fear. I thought that you'd want what I want. Sorry, my dear. And where are the clouds? Quicksand in the clouds. Don't bother, they're here.
Isn't it rich? Isn't it queer? This time in my career, in my career. But where are the clowns? There ought to be clowns, but maybe next year.
And our final song in the song block is All I Have to Do Is Dream by the Everly Brothers. We lost Don Everly last year.
Dream, 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 dream. Dream, dream, dream when I want you. In my arms when I want you. And all your charms whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. Dream, dream, dream when I feel blue. In the night when I need you to hold me tight whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. I can make you mine, taste your lips of wine, anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. Dream, 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 dream. I can make you mine, taste your lips of wine, anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. Dream, 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 dream. Dream, 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 dream. Dream, 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 dream.
It is time, Chris, for you. Come on down.
All right, I'm out of my New Year's fog. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well.
Welcome to WellSprings from home. There you go. To all of those joining us by live stream, we welcome you through your screen and the magic of the internet into Bell Hall with us this morning. My name is Chris Grappi, and my pronouns are he and his, and I'm honored and blessed to be leading our worship service today. Wherever you are this morning, know that we feel your presence here in this room today, and that you are all gathered here in spirit with us. Each week when we gather, we light a chalice as a symbol of our spiritual heritage as Unitarian Universalists. It is not just a symbol of what is past, but of what is present. That divine spark, the inner light that shines at the heart of each of our lives. As we light this chalice, may we share our light with each other and with the world. We've asked Aiden to come forward to light our chalice today. After they've done so, we will say the words together. We light our chalice to celebrate the path lit before us, the warmth of kindness that shines from within us, and the radiance of wisdom that is shared between us and never goes out. Thank you, Aiden. Good morning. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Our mission here at WellSprings is to be a community charged full with the charge of the soul. And I'd like to share with you what's charging my soul lately. So this practice of being a worship leader is something that helps me live with some intentionality about gratitude and noticing things, because I need to think of things to be able to say when I'm up here, basically. And I keep coming back to this practice of gratitude and thinking about, what am I grateful for? What am I noticing? And so this struck home for me yesterday. I was on a New Year's Day run, which was great. It was raining and muddy and all that good stuff. And I was listening to this podcast. And it's one of my favorite podcasts that I listen to a lot. And he told a story, I think it's a Buddhist story about, I'm going to mess it up, but that's okay. This man's on a hike, and he's walking along, and he falls down a cliff, and he's scrambling, panicking, and he grabs onto a branch, and he's desperately hanging over this giant pit, and there's a tiger at the bottom of the pit. And he's kind of freaking out about this because he knows the branch is either he's going to let go of the branch, or the branch is going to pull out from the side of the rock face, and he's going to plummet to this tiger who's waiting patiently for some snacks. So he's standing there and hanging on to this thing, rather, and after he catches his breath a little bit, he notices there's a strawberry plant. And while he's hanging there, he takes the strawberry and he eats it. And it's the best strawberry that he's ever had. And he's got some equanimity about this. He's hanging there, he's got this great strawberry, and it's very tasty, but he's still hanging over this tiger. And it struck me as I was running that's kind of where we all are. There's bad things in the world, there's good things in the world, and if we pause and take a breath and eat that strawberry when it's presented to us and enjoy it for what it is in that moment, we might be able to gain some sort of equanimity and contentment. So what are you noticing today for which you are grateful? And that gives you some equanimity. That's what's charging my soul today. Thank you. Let me open my phone again. All right. So this morning, I'd like to especially welcome any newcomers among us. If this is your first or second time joining our Sunday service, we're very glad you're here. We hope you'll fill out an online connection card so you can learn more about us and start to introduce yourself too. There's a link to the online connection card in the video description below. If you'd like to interact with others who are joining us online this morning, there's also a live chat available on your screen. To access it, you need a YouTube or Google account. Just sign in, click the live chat button, and say hello. We have a few announcements we'd like to share this weekend, and for that, I will turn it over to our membership and communications coordinator, Jessica Heichel. Jessica.
Happy New Year, WellSprings. My name's Jessica Heichel, and I have just one announcement for you this week. Our Board of Trustees has made an announcement saying that we are going to be returning to in-person services at some point in 2022, which is now. It is now 2022 as of the new year. The situation with COVID, however, is escalating and changing very rapidly. So they are keeping their eye on the situation, and they will give us a more concrete date at a later time. But please rest assured that we will be coming back to in-person services at some point this year. We are all working very hard to make sure that happens for you. Now, if you have become accustomed to our online services, we want to assure you that they are not going anywhere. You will still be able to access us online, whether you are far away or whether you have a busy Sunday morning or whether you are not yet comfortable with the COVID situation to come in. So however you interact with WellSprings, we are hoping that you will be able to continue doing it in the way that works best for you in the new year. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you next week. Stay safe.
Thank you. At WellSprings, the foundation of all that we do is the power of connection, of making space in our hearts and our lives for each other. This is the part of the service where we honor that connection by greeting one another. Take a moment now to share a greeting in the live chat, or maybe to say hello in the WellSprings Oasis, our private group on Facebook, or to just reach out with a text message or a note to someone else in our community, whoever you're thinking of today. In whatever ways you are greeting, please do so now. Thank you for those warm greetings. Immediately after our service, you're all invited to connect face-to-face with our staff and other members of the congregation during our online coffee hour hosted on Zoom at 11 a.m. Just click the Zoom link in the video description below to join, and we'll share it again in the chat as we come to the end of our service. I invite you now to our time of generosity. If it has helped you through these times we're living in, we hope you'll honor what this place means to all of us by sharing a gift with us. If you'd like to put something in the virtual hat today, just text WSprings to 73256. A link will pop up so you can make a gift online. There's also a link to our online giving form in the video description below. Thank you for all the ways your gifts of time, effort, energy, money, kindness, attention, and care all support our WellSprings community and the communities and partners we support beyond our doors. Our offering will now be gratefully received. Thank you. Having shared energy between us and giving beyond us, let us take time now to reground into the deep and soulful energy that is within. We do this by doing what is most simple and elemental in our lives. We take a breath, inhaling and exhaling without rush or hurry, breathing in and breathing out. There's nowhere else to go, nowhere else to be. So let us be here together now as we prepare for our time of mindful silence. We follow these words from Thich Nhat Hanh into our time of meditation. If we want to enter heaven on earth, we need only one conscious step and one conscious breath. Let us cultivate peace and experience presence in this quiet time together. Whatever it is that we are, whatever it is that we are doing, however it is that we are feeling, let us remember that peace and presence are always as close to us as our own breath. May this be so for you this moment. May it be so for you this day. May it be so for you in the days to come. And may it be for all of us. As we've returned temporarily to this online way of worshiping together on Sunday mornings, our congregation's children have also returned to their online gathering for Youth Spirit and are once again meeting on Zoom every week at 9 a.m. If you'd like more information about how to connect your family with our programs for children and youth, fill out a connection card and we'll be in touch to follow up. But for now, we have a message from our Youth Spirit Director, Carol Breslin, for this week's Youth Spirit Yell.
Okay, for our next song, this is a song by the band Cinderella. If anybody knows me, I'm a big 80s metal fan, 80s hair bands. This was one of my favorite bands. And this past year, we lost Jeff LaBar, who was the guitarist from Cinderella. So in memory of him, we're going to do Don't Know What You've Got Until It's Gone.
Can't tell you, baby, what went wrong. I can't make you feel what you felt so long ago. Let it show. I can't give you back what's been hurt. Heartaches come and go, and all that's left are the words I can't let go. If we take some time, think it over, baby. Take some time, let me know if you really wanna go. can't clear my heart of your love. It falls like rain, ain't the same. I hear you calling far away, tearing through my soul. I just can't take another day. Who's to blame if we take some time, think it over, baby? Take some time, let me know if you really want to go. I don't know what you got till it's gone. I don't know what it is did so wrong. Now I know what I've got, it's just this soul. And it ain't easy to get back, takes some love. Do you want to see me begging, baby? Can't you give me just one more day? Can't you see my heart's been dragging lately? I've been looking for the words to say. Don't know what you got till it's gone. Don't know what it is did so wrong. Now I know what I've got, it's just this soul. And it ain't easy to get back, takes so long.
So this is our ritual here, New Year's Day, WellSprings, or the service closest to New Year's Day, is we, as you see today, do a bunch of songs from dearly departed musicians that we've lost in the prior year. And we do a ritual, which I'm going to talk about in my brief message today. But first, what I want to say is this week in the life of the WellSprings Band is your heaviest lift every single year, right? Because not only do you have to learn, this year it's 4, most often it's 5 new songs that you might never perform again here, but it comes after Christmas when you're doing those songs once a year. So I just want to thank you for being the kind of worship band that at the time of the year, and let's face it, many of us are wanting to kind of dial things in, right? Phone it in. But you all show up. I want to thank you for doing that and making this time of the year so distinctive. As I said before, we also have a ritual every single New Year's service. It involves fire and release and renewal, and specifically of wanting to release something. It's individual to each of us, although after doing this for a number of years, you see some trends. You see some common, elements and themes. What we would wish to release that holds us back from living a life most full that we really want to live. But I got a confession to make. We've been doing this for this specific service. I think this is the 7th year. 7th year doing this. I think the first year, 2016, it was that year before Prince and Bowie and George Michael. It was so obvious that we were going to do something new to honor them. And we decided to add in the fire ritual as well, too. But this is my confession. I have grown really ambivalent about what we're doing with the fire ritual. Really ambivalent. I love ritual, love release. The 12-year-old in me loves fire. But what do we mean by wanting to release something that is holding us back? And not just what do we mean by it, but how we do it matters a great deal. There's a story I love, and a story that I think particularly sheds some light on what helped me name my ambivalence about this ritual. It involves Sharon Salzberg, who some of you know is the Western Buddhist teacher most associated with with being a proponent of metta, of loving kindness meditation. She tells a story. This is maybe about 15 years after she and a couple other Western Buddhist teachers founded the Insight Meditation Society in Western Massachusetts. She was in Dharamsala, having an audience with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And it was an opportunity to engage in some teaching with him. And she said, "What do you make of self-hatred?" And the Dalai Lama looked at Sharon Salzberg like, "What are you talking about?" It wasn't that it was lost in translation from English to his language. So what do you mean by that, self-hatred? She said this sense that the self is inadequate or debased or inherently broken. And he said, we don't have any understanding of self-hatred in our tradition. He said, that sounds like that's kind of a Western thing. And that's my ambivalence about any ritual that would seek to have us release something that does not serve us. Is this contributing to yet another way that we judge ourselves by self-improvement? Is this contributing to yet another way in which we are buying into and expressing this painful core belief that many of us, I know I have, carried around for so long in our lives, that we are not enough? I mean, you would think from all the self-improvement and the billions of dollars spent on self-improvement that American culture would be the most manifestly healthy from a mental health perspective culture that has ever existed. But as we all know, it is so not the case. So often, our schemes of self-improvement, to which many of us fall into this time of the year especially, are nothing more than dressed up self-aggression. And it is any wonder that so many of our schemes for self-improvement, year after year after year, don't seem to take root in us. So I wonder if I played a small part in this by leading these 6 services until the 7th this year of wanting to release, or it's kind of a violent image if you think about it, burn up what doesn't serve you anymore. Wasn't my intention. But if I did that in some way, I want to apologize. And I want to be more clear about this year's ritual. 2021 has been like 2020, the sequel, right? And as someone who watches a lot of horror movies, the sequels are never, most often, very good. They just find the survivors even more exhausted and bedraggled and in denial, disbelief that this thing we thought was gone is back again. This is an ornament that my wife and I have on our tree. I don't know if you can see, it's a little dark. I should have upgraded the exposure there a little bit. I should have improved it. Look at me, judging myself right here, right now. This is how it happens. That's 2020 and a dumpster fire right on top of it. I feel like many of us could just scratch out the 0 in the end, put a 1, and say, yeah. And maybe that's why this year, when we have solicited for what you might like to release, put into the fire, we've gotten almost no responses. Maybe, somehow, the collection of people called WellSprings have had just such an amazing 2021 that there is absolutely nothing any of us want to release. Yeah, right. I think it's rather instead the sequel. So many of us are so exhausted. One more thing, one more request, one more message, one more opportunity for connecting with someone electronically. Give up. It's all right. I'm certainly not judging that. I know it too. And yet I do believe in rituals of release and renewal, especially after this past year. And so I want to invite us into this year a different means of release and renewal. And yes, I do want to invite your participation if you haven't sent me anything yet. I'm going to have a couple different ways for you to do that in just a moment. But first, I'd like you to reimagine releasing some part of you, a thought, a belief, a feeling, an anxiety, an anger towards yourself, a shame, an embarrassment, and honestly ask yourself what you have been doing to get rid of that to this point. I believe it is almost a law of emotional physics that the more we resist what we do not like about ourselves within ourselves, the more that it persists. I would ask you to ask yourself how you have been holding what you might like to release that you know does not serve you. I'm going to invite us to just here and now hold it a little bit differently. It's an exercise, a little quick meditation. It's from Russ Harris, who is a therapist and even more a teacher and a trainer of therapists. And there's an invitation he offers about how we might work with a difficult thought, feeling, memory, something we don't like about ourselves or wish to get rid of. And so I'm going to ask you right now, if this is safe for you, if this feels too much, too overwhelming, if you don't want to think of anything right now, that's fine. You don't have to participate. But if you are willing right now, and it feels safe, and you feel at least a moderate level of openness, to close your eyes wherever you are, and to call to mind something that does not serve you. A grief, a shame, an embarrassment, an anxiety, a depression, a sadness, an aspect of yourself with which you have struggled for years and yet still it abides. And I'd ask you to take just a moment to do a little bit of inventory about what your relationship with this thought or feeling or part of you has been like. It could be, as many of us have been trained to do, or as pain somehow teaches us, to want to push back or deny or to get angry at what does not serve us or gets in the way. And if something's coming to mind for you, and you're noticing that there is a little bit of a history of some self-aggression or self-judgment, or anger about the anxiety, or anxiety about the anger, or shame about the embarrassment, all these things we do that kind of build the walls, segregating our own hearts from ourselves. And I'd like to ask you to imagine something. That if you could hold in your hand, for a moment, this thing that does not serve, this memory, feeling, story, thought, and imagine yourself holding it as if it were a precious, crying baby. Or holding this as if it was the paw of a pained puppy, or the hand of a dear and distraught friend. Again, no expectations, no forcing this, but just noticing what it is like if you are able to imagine holding this pain, this negative belief, this difficult emotion, like it is a precious crying baby, the paw of a pained puppy, or the hand of a beloved, distraught person for you. Just notice if that shifts anything, even incrementally, in terms of how you relate to this part of you that holds some pain, or even might show up in your life in destructive ways. Notice what it's like when you imagine holding it with love and compassion. Just see if you can breathe your heart open to that, just for this moment. And if your eyes have been closed, you can open your eyes now. And just notice again if that makes any difference. It may or may not. This stuff isn't magic. It's a practice. It's a practice that looks very much like this image. Maybe you've seen this one on social media like I have as well too. You can't get rid of your fears, but you can learn to live with them. See her there, offering some tea to the monster. Offering a little bit of tea to the monster. So many of us are taught to wage war on ourselves and on our hearts. But it does not have to be so. There's a wonderful teacher, a fellow named Rainer Maria Rilke. He has that quote that you might see from time to time about kind of living the questions, being open to what is not yet resolved in your heart. That's from a book of his called Letters to a Young Poet. Rilke also has a beautiful teaching that is very much about what I'm speaking about today. He says that imagine all those old stories of princes and princesses and royalty who somehow were transmuted into frogs or dragons. You know those stories. I mean, Disney's made a mint off those stories. What's the secret? It's love. Rilke asks us that perhaps everything that terrifies us within our own hearts is something that needs our love. something that is waiting for us to show up with courage, not to confront, but to be with our own pain. And so that's the invitation this year that I am not ambivalent about if you would like to participate in our ritual. And here's a different way that you can do it, if you are so moved. This is my phone number, 215-913-9989. 215-913-9989. I expect I will be getting so many spam texts soon from the people. Also, if you're watching on YouTube and you're in the chat, you can drop your answer right in there if you wish. If you wish to remain anonymous, however, you can just text me directly. What I'm going to do, if you send me something that you would like to release with loving kindness, with self-compassion, without self-aggression, send that to me. I will collect these, and I will not burn them right away. I'll actually write them down on individual scraps of paper. And over this next week, whether I know your name or not, based on what you've written down, I will send you metta. I will send you loving kindness, and I will send to your monster this thing you would wish to release, an invitation to be met differently. Again, I don't think this stuff is magic, but I do believe in the power of intention, that we can meet our pain differently. Someone just texted me already. Maybe it's one of the folks in the room here. Bring them in. And here's the thing. Whether you know or not, if I'm sending metta to this part of yourself you'd like to release or to hold with more love, you can send yourself metta whenever you wish, especially at those moments when you are dogged by this thing you just cannot get rid of, that you've tried and tried and tried. And so here's a little invitation to do it a bit differently this year. And yes, the 12-year-old in me loves fire. So I will put in the fire to complete the ritual, but not before sending it and you and us love. The metta, the loving kindness, the compassion that all of us deserve, especially when we are most in pain. Amen. May you live in blessing. I'm going to ask if you would to please pray with me. To notice the breath. To notice how the breath wants to teach us how to hold space. That so often the presence of pain naturally leads to a tightness, a tension that many of us can hold for lifetime or lifetimes. And so instead, in this moment, a different way to approach our pain. With openness and tenderness, to hold with love, and then to open the hand, and then to see if what we have been trying to get rid of for so long might just take wings on its own, to know that it too is worthy of flight and lightness and air, so that a deeper healing might find each and every one of us. Amen.
Our final song today is one that we've had in our rotation for a while, Shine a Light by the Rolling Stones, in memory of drummer Charlie Watts.
Saw you stretched out in room till the night, with a smile on your face and a gleam right in your eye. Oh, couldn't seem to get a line on you.
that every woman that you meet could not seem to get high on you, my sweet honey pie. May the good Lord shine a light on you. Make every song you sing your favorite tune. May the good Lord shine a light on you. Warm like the evening sun. When you're drunk in the alley, baby, with your clothes all torn, and your late night friends leave you in the cold gray dawn. Oh, just seeing too many lies on you. I just can't brush them off. Angels beating all their wings in time, with smiles on their faces and a gleam right in their eye. Oh, Lord, I won't sigh for you. Come on up now, come on up now, come on up now. May the good Lord shine a light on you. Make every song you sing your favorite tune. May the good Lord shine a light on you. Oh, like the evening sun. Come on up now, come on up now, come on up now, come on up now. May the good Lord shine a light on you. Make every song you sing your favorite tune. May the good Lord shine a light on you. Warm like the evening sun.
This light goes out, the light does not. And together we say these words. As we release this flame from its faithful service today, we allow the spark in each of us to burn on, to warm our compassion, to fire our delight, to light our paths today, tomorrow, and always. Friends, I say this from the bottom of my heart today. I wish you absolutely no improvement. I wish you great love. May it be so for all of us. Take us out, guys. Let's put our hands together.